Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Create Arcane Engineering, almost set above and beyond. Brought to you by our wonderful server hosting sponsor, Apex Hosting. If you're interested in playing on a Minecraft server with your friends, maybe playing this mod pack or another, or vanilla Minecraft, check them out. Use our codes in the description of the stream of the YouTube video. Grab yourself 25% off your first month of server hosting, and you can have yourself a great time. This is, just a disclaimer for everybody. Peter is, he's living his best life. He's decided to take to the open road, and he's not here today, nor probably the next episode, but should be back the one after that. So, anywho, how's it going?
It's going all right. How are you?
I'm good. I do have a slight fear that despite the fact that I've gone on the server like 5 times over the course of the last couple days to check that things are actually working right now, now that we're here.
Yeah.
Now that it's 100%. On,
100%.
I'm going to go in and it's going to be broken.
Yep.
But I think that I managed to get the thing figured out at a non-config adjusted 50 specs per routine. I don't know if have you taken a look at all since I told you that I thought I got it?
Not at your setup, no.
Oh, okay. So, what I basically did, and let's double check, are we going? Because I'm gonna be like, if it's not going, this is gonna be a really embarrassing thing. No, okay, it's going. It is going. It's still working. Come on, it's yes. Oh, I'm so happy because I wasn't sure, but it's been now going for 2 days, and that happened. I don't know how that happened, but that shouldn't actually be interfering with things. So, anyway, I don't know how
it tried to place one while one was already there, so and so that's on my system. I use just shafts in those spots to kind of keep that from happening. But yeah, other than the fact that you have one that you produced but didn't get to use, there's no
we still got a bottle that's pending down there, so it should be okay. So I basically, because there was a potential issue wherein the bottles were getting kind of fricked, I tried to surround the area with stuff to make it so that it was less likely that the bottles would go bye-bye.
Yeah.
So that was the thing that I did. So, hey, take that. There you go. Have fun. I don't know. Would it be worth putting that's a good one. Would it be worth putting just another cobblestone block above this slab? I don't know if that would be worth doing at all or anything like that.
Well, that's the other fun thing is you could actually, if you weren't using lay shaft right there, that I added, if you removed that, then you could actually...
that's just the shaft you put down. Okay.
You could actually place blocks across and hold it in, and the deployer works through that. And that and that would also help to that was my solution. Well, I had a multi-pronged solution, but that was part of it.
So could I actually oh god, thank goodness that didn't go in. Could I actually put a block instead of a slab here and it would just be fine?
Yeah.
Oh. That's the only reason I didn't do it is because I thought it would interfere with the deployer.
Nah,
but
the
as soon as it gets fed the bottle,
don't care.
It'll just
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Do you have a cobblestone? Because the frickin'...
I do not. I've emptied my inventory because I was in invalid mode for a long while, and so I just barely picked it all back up.
Okay, well, anyway, we'll replace it there later. But in any case, okay, let me show you the whole sequence. And for those of you watching on YouTube, there happened to be another episode that took place in between now and then that we won't talk about, where there's just a lot of stressfulness. You're taking stuff, by the way. You're yoinking lots of... Yep.
Why are you... Okay, yeah, that's fine.
It works. It works. Okay, so here is the dealio. What are you doing?
I accidentally placed the dirt.
Okay.
So you bring this chute up one, and then you put a pusher so that it just pushes in. That way you don't have the end of the out there. But anyway, continue on.
Yeah. Whatever. It's fine. So basically, we had our whole. It's mostly the same setup. However, I've decided to start taking advantage a lot of the storage controllers from Sophisticated Drawers.
Yeah.
To try to basically do similar things to what you did over at your Stop grabbing! Oh my God! Wait, why is this in here? What? Why is the...
Why was there a floating 4 specs is the bigger question there, but okay.
I don't know why there was that, but it is still working, just FYI.
Everything's fine. I'm not like I didn't click. I'm existing. Do you want me to exist further away or?
No, I don't know why that was happening. I also don't know why there's 9 specs in here. I'm gonna get rid of that. And okay. Anyway, so here is the wait. How did this? Are we having like a chunk loading thing, or I wonder what the heck?
Oh, I just picked up soul beads. I think.
Yeah, this thing is. Wait, what? Why is this not? Oh, it's because we're out of gold nuggets. That's what happened. I'm out of gold. Oh.
Your nuggies.
Wait, what? Why are we out of nuggies? Holy frick.
Maybe.
Oh, because we're not voiding the quartz.
You wanted to avoid that.
Yeah, we need to put a void into there. That would be the problem. I'm getting so sidetracked. I was so happy to show you, and then something I completely didn't think about before has now interfered. But literally, like, okay, there we go. We got a void upgrade. I'm gonna put a void upgrade in there. And then we should be okay after that. But yeah, beyond that, like, god dang. That's the only thing I didn't predict freaking up. There we go. Okay, now our gold supply should resume. I'm just going to clear some of this so that we don't create, like, a backlog that we don't want to have here.
Shouldn't this be a drawer also with a void, or perhaps, you know, something that you could upgrade to just hold more? But
it doesn't.
Don't worry about it. Continue on. Tell me your story.
It shouldn't really be that big of a deal. Okay, regardless. Okay. So basically, what has gone on here, what I did in order to make the thing work is, so our problem was that it was like when 50 things are created here, we're like, how do we get it so we always get 2 of the soul dust going into the pixies, 1 of the soul dust going into making a Munda bitter that cycles back into initiating this whole thing here.
Right.
Somehow I ended up with the surplus Munda bitter, but it's probably because that kind of fricked up and backed up over there is my assumption. But it was like, how do we get it so that that is guaranteed each time, but then like every 4th or 8th cycle, we can send off a, excess, because we get 4 excess specs to play with every single round. How do we make it so that every 4th or 8th we send it off to the Munda bitter production for the Arcane Gold so that we can make more of the Darkstone and also the Arcane Gold nuggets that are going to feed into the Time in a Bottle sequenced assembly. So, after much thinking about stuff, doing the math, we had a surplus of Oriole Essence if we were doing 18. But 18 just breaks us even on this cycle every time, which doesn't really help too much in generating what we need, which is extra arcane crystals, which are going into the Time in a Bottle setup, right? So what we need to do is we need to have at least 1 extra each time, so we're getting some extra going into the Time in a Bottle. So I set it to 19 arcane specs that get kicked off towards the sequenced assembly over here. And so then it's working the same as last time. Well, no, this is different from the last YouTube episode. Same as the last stream, wherein it's going to craft 2 of the blocks. And if one of the blocks kicks off over into the place where it would go into the Time in a Bottle, it's going to deconstruct, and then 8 of those are going to cycle right back into the mechanical press. And then 1 of them is going to go to the Time in a Bottle. So basically, always 2 blocks are going to get fed right back into the deployers to craft another one of the obelisks, right? Cool. Okay, so that handles that. Then, right now, I also, just FYI, I have basically this over here. This is just voiding the extra 19 that we created by changing the config to 69. So
you're picking up soul.
I am. I'm messing up. Anyway, so this here is just taking us back to, it's set into a voiding drawer, basically. So this is just taking us back to as if it were 50, even though the config is now at 69. That's why I sent you a message. I'm like, if you change the config, let me know so I can remove this. Then we have the other 31 that come out of the 50. And I'm like, okay, well, we need to guarantee that 2 soul dust gets sent to the pixies every single time, and that 1 soul dust gets sent to Mundabitter to cycle back into the obelisk. Okay, how am I going to do that? So what I ended up doing is I split off the 27, which is exactly the amount needed to make 3 soul dust, from the 4 excess. And I just sent the 4 excess remotely via the sophisticated storage into what I created was a new secondary Mundabitter production, separate from the one that's being used for the pixies and the deployer over there, Mundabitter. So the excess 4 gets sent into this chest, which is backed up because we ran out of gold. But basically, that just, it creates a way for every, 2.25 cycles, we get an excess Mundabitter that is produced that goes into Arcane Gold, which then half the time goes off into the crafting for the bottom block, the Darkstone, and the other half of the time goes and gets crafted into the Nugget, which goes into the time in a bottle sequenced assembly. So that satisfies the 1 in every 8 that needs to happen in order to keep the Darkstone crafting over here easily, while also 50% get sent to time in a bottle. Meanwhile, the 27 specs that we need in order for this thing to sustain itself go into another masher thing, a press, wherein it waits until 3 are created because it needs to be a stack of 3, and then that 3 gets sent again via wireless sophisticated storage into this chest, where it gets broken off into 2, which go to the pixies, and 1, which goes into the Mundabitter for the deployer. This guarantees that every single time we get exactly what we need to keep the cycle going while funneling off the excess. Then over here with the Oriole essence that's being made by the pixies, 19 still leaves just a little bit of an excess remainder every time, so it is building an excess, and now that's why I have this big old fluid tank over here that is now filled. Unfortunately, every single time in a bottle requires like a third of a bucket, so it's going to deplete extremely quickly once we start initiating this. However, I changed the order so that it's always pumping into this one before it is it's always pumping into this one before it goes into the one for the time in a bottle, so it shouldn't ever run out on the sequence assembly where it needs to sustain, versus over here where it's just going to, whenever there is enough excess, it will turn it into the Oriole bottle to go into the time in a bottle production. So anyway, it works.
Nice. That's no small feat, just big feat. Well done.
Yeah. I'm
other than your soul beat issue, you seem pretty good.
Other than just the obnoxiousness of picking that up, yeah. I'm sorry. And but yeah, it's well, now I just need more gold, but it's working.
Nice.
It's freaking working.
It's very interesting with such a complex system, the different approaches we bring, and it's neat to see it all in action and how it's working. You've got gold up here that's just sitting around. Oh, this is Arcane gold.
Yeah, because the time in a bottle is not. I haven't initiated the production because I have to bring the source gems and the source fluid over to here. So that's what I was planning on doing today, is actually getting time in a bottle production going.
Awesome. So good job, man. Like
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you? I know you were trying to get this to work via the actual making it every 3 or 4 or 8. Kind of calculating and doing it that way instead of.
It
just
is working.
access?
Yes.
It is really. Yeah. Dang. All right. I mean, I'm happy to.
Do you want to look at? Do you want to take a look at it? All right.
Sure.
So
I feel like it's going to be way over my head.
No. Well, I mean, they're all way. Like what you just did is a little over my head because it's complex systems and it's hard to take. You have to understand the whole system to kind of start understanding what each little piece is, right? But mine worked under a couple different assumptions that yours didn't. You had enough resources to kind of just make it to where it's like, I just need to continue to loop, but not run out, right? I started mine with the idea that I had nothing but enough to make 1 obelisk. So given 1 obelisk, everything would work. And in order to do that, it's all sequenced and part of it. I'm wondering why I can't fly because I'm used to it. But so basically, again, to
be clear, everybody, this is separate in YouTube. This is separate.
100% self-isolated me testing. None of this has been brought back into the actual world, and nor will it. It was just me testing. So I assumed that you had infinite, which apparently incorrectly, but infinite gold nuggies, infinite darkstone, the soul beads, and the souls. You've got those, and then everything else I needed to produce as necessary. And kind of go from that. So the basic idea, though, is that, and I think it might still be running. It might have stopped. It's very, very tightly done. So I would need to debug it for about 5 days in a row to figure out why. Oh, it missed a Mundabatur there, and do I not have it? I do have it. It just didn't place it. And once that happens, then everything resolves, which actually is a pretty decent spot. So. It creates an obelisk. When the obelisk goes through and it detects one, it sends it up. It immediately stops this belt when it sees that ones go through because it's not set to run parallel. So then that actually triggers this sequence over here, telling it that I need 2 different arcane powders. And basically what these are, and this is a double up, but what each of these AND gates that I have here are, is I turn the arcane dust production into a subroutine. And so any of these different steps can call and say, I need an arcane dust, and then they need to wait until I verify that it gets made. And so in order to do that, I have to, 1, put in the request, 2, I need to know that this is the particular subroutine that's waiting for that request, and 3, that the request comes through. So when just using redstone links, it'll activate, and these AND gates will go, and basically this is a fancy way to say, give me exactly 2, and make sure they end up over in a certain spot. So those 2 get over here. That turns it into, obviously, this is your same process, turns it into the dark pixies, and this is where you were saying, you were trying to make sure that one doesn't get lost. This is a similar setup, right? Where the dark pixie gets drilled, and I have the glass to kind of hold it in place. I also have 3 different belts, so any one of the 3 will catch it, and then I just use the tunnels to, funnel it back into the one. So that gets washed. It goes into the Ariel tank. The Ariel tank gets pumped up into the spout. This is where I do the spec rotation. I have it so that my Ariel tank, if it starts getting overly full, will actually disable sending the arcane dust down and creating more pixies until it lowers. So I'm actually self-regulating the amount of Ariel, and instead deciding to convert it to excess arcane dust. But
the only issue is that once you start timing a bottle, you want all the excess you can get.
Sure.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, and again, that's very configurable or stoppable. But I just didn't have something consuming it. So this process drives me nuts. It takes forever, the conversion to arcane crystal.
And I changed this to having it set up the way you do with the sophisticated storage.
And it's still painful. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it takes absolutely ages, but it works.
So then once those start stamping, then I use a mechanical arm to take each one and place it in its appropriate place, and then I have an observer watching to see if they get placed. Once the observers both go off, then we come over to this logic sequence here, and this kicks off a couple different processes. The observer then calls for an arcane dust for the Mundabatur. It also tells it to place 1 darkstone polished, and then it waits a minute, but after a bit of delay, it says check to see whether I need more darkstone. So whenever I have a comparator reading the chest that's holding darkstone, whenever that runs out, then after I've placed the last one, these will initiate properly, and it will actually trigger the process to say I need 1 arcane, I need 1 Mundabatur, and then send it down to create the arcane gold and all that. So really, it's just working in a very on-demand method instead of it being just each side producing excess and knowing. See, this is right now. You can see the lights that this one's processing, and it's making and then it moves on to the next one and says, "Okay, yeah, I got it." And then that was the process to make more darkstone, so it just sent the arcane gold, etc., etc. So. Anyway,
it's pretty gnarly.
It's it's all the same thing that you did, just in a different way.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
But yeah, I rather you've got it to where you're like you have enough resources that you're running just a factory production, which is fine and good and all that. Like don't get me wrong, like your way is probably more efficient than mine. Mine is set up in a way that it's like I have extremely limited resources and I just need to only peel off the excess and send it along its way. So given it all starts with one obelisk and then it should self-perpetuate, barring any specific bugs, to where it will just continue to create more and more of the specs and more. I could either set it to make more and more of the Ariel or more of the dust, whichever I prefer. So
yeah, that's pretty wild.
It's,
I can't pretend that I fully understand every step of the way, but it is very impressive, and
yeah, I mean,
I'm glad that it wasn't necessary for me to do all this to figure out a working thing, because then I never would have.
I mean, like you just learn it as you go. Just took some time. Now the obelisk drops and process starts over. I was threatening to build it a second time, threatening Chad to build it a second time, because now that I've put it all together, I can think of a number of ways to do the redstone in a lot cleaner fashion, or at least a lot more comprehensible from an outside perspective of where it's at. Basically, the biggest problem that I have with this build is that some of the steps trigger the next steps rather than me having an overall controller. But it's been really interesting, and they're tired of me saying it, but I've been showing chat how this is literally programming, and Redstone is just a programming language, but I'm literally just creating a program and using a controller and debugging pieces. Like it's just a program, with subroutines and all of that, and showing kind of the analogs of how that all comes together. But again, none of this is legit. We're not using it. It was just my proof of concept for me to kind of see if I can make it work. I don't think really my system should care whether it's at 50 or 69. It's just going to change how much extra, because I'm literally just handing it the parts and pieces that it needs as it needs it. So assuming that the system, that it's not, the math isn't inherently running at a loss, then I'm going to naturally be able to keep it sustained.
Okay.
That said, again, I know of at least the occasional hedge case of, this manipulator ended up where I didn't, or missed the pulse on sending it out to the next one, and that's where having some excess of each of the things would be useful, because at that point it's like, if right now I'm waiting for, did I produce a manipulator, and if I did, then once I have that, I need to then send exactly one down the system to create the obelisk. Instead of it being, I have a pile of manipulator, and when it's ready, send one down to the system to create an obelisk. And in the meantime, I'm going to create more and kind of keep that in perpetuity, but outside of a sequenced process. So yours is in a factorized sort of way where all the different subroutines are kind of just constantly running in parallel, and then you're tying them together, where mine is a very serialized, step-by-step process. That's all.
Yeah, well, I think, does this call for a reversion of the 69 to the 50, perhaps, in celebration of a great success?
If I remembered the command, absolutely.
I think there's a dock, and then we have to do slash.
Oh, it was the slash
like
reload.
That.
Yeah, I need to connect on.
Okay, so I'm gonna break the slab that I have in front of the. I'm gonna encase the pixie thing in glass, and that is totally chill to do, no problem.
Yeah, as long as the players don't care about the blocks other than where they're trying to place it.
Okay, got it. Cool.
The other thing that I would say though is if we're pretending like that episode doesn't exist, then we probably ought to explain how I'm getting oil again.
Oh yeah, we should show your train and stuff.
I mean, we don't have to, but we do have
your
oil.
Train's pretty,
we have oil now,
cool. And people do like trains.
Who doesn't like trains? Really?
I don't think anyone's gonna complain about more trains. Let me just. Oh no! Stop! Oh, I didn't want to do that. Oop! I've just pooped out some pixies. Whoops.
That sounds painful.
Yeah, they're pretty spiky,
the old pixie poop, huh?
They are pretty spiky, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that doesn't want to go. That doesn't want to go there. Oh, God.
Let's see.
Do not waste. No wastage allowed.
Server scripts, chapter 3.
No. Okay, well. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can show the super duper awesome brainage. Oh, just and as we reload, just let me know so that I can delete the funnel in sequence with that.
File is updated, so it's just whatever the cube.js reload command that, again, I don't remember the command. Assuming that worked, then that would be...
Anybody reminder of the reload? Anybody remember what it is and stuff? Anybody know? Oh, it's just literally /reload, apparently. So...
/reload. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, it says it's done.
Okay, and there we go.
And apparently it kills everything.
Okay, we're back. All right. So now it should be...
Oh, that full booted me from the server. Did you not get booted?
Oh, I'm still here. I am
now I can't
still
connect.
Very much here.
Oh, I'm connecting. Okay.
Okay, so now let me just verify, in fact, that it does produce... Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to see it in time, but fingers crossed. We're filling up here. We're completing the stuff. And then I am... Okay, so today, yeah, I got to connect. I started to kind of mine a path from the Jardon's underground elevator area to this to route the source gems. But
do you want to borrow Bertha?
That. Is that the train? Is that Bertha?
I had the minecart drill train, not the train, but the one that's just a minecart contraption.
50, yes. Okay, 50. It worked.
Cool.
Perfect. But no, I think it'll just probably be easier to do a just manually mine the tunnel and bring it over. I wanted to be able to just use the sophisticated storage and wirelessly transfer, but it seems like the system only has a range of 15 blocks. It is very sad.
15. It should be 24
for sophisticated storage.
The drawer controller thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, different. No, because we don't
okay.
have access to the drawer controller.
Oh, right. Well,
I'm using the sophisticated storage.
Right. So yeah, I dealt with the because originally that was 12, and I've actually edited the config to get it. So this is Bertha.
Oh, okay.
No,
I think I'm all good. But yeah, let's go check out your oil production.
So basically, I think that the YouTube people hadn't seen it if they skip it. I've been creating a factory in a chunk, kind of, and this is all designed to take things that we need to have running and kind of move it away from where it's rendering in the client, so that we can still have it running. And it's completely self-perpetuating with the trees up there. They feed perfectly the boiler, so all the stress and everything that I need, that's all just happily and running. And then I'm going to start in here the chapter 3 chromatic creation down below. So I've added a train underneath here. I think you're up top, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just. Are you seeing what I'm seeing, or probably
not?
Okay, it's having a moment, but
looks pretty normal to me.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I saw a clip of you having particles, and I was like, well, the fact that his video card's doing that is probably why he's having frame problems. But
I turned off VSync actually at somebody's recommendation, and now I'm much better.
Oh, thanks, guys. So anyway, I have a train coming. This delivers from and there it is.
Whoa!
This delivers this is from the iron production that we have. It brings all the flint over. So I'm gonna need flint. Looks like we have 262,000 that's been delivered so far. So that guy just doing what he do, bringing flint, and that just runs over again to the other elevator, the resource production level. I just siphon the flint off of that. But
what are you making with the flint?
That'll be the beginnings of the chromatic chapter 3. If you haven't looked at chapter 3.
Okay, got it.
But the other part of chapter 3 is that I need what is it? The refined fuel, which needs oil, and oil you can find in little splotches here and there. But there are infinite sources that can spawn.
As per the 10,000 limit.
So I found one of them's, and then
we still don't have a conductor. We need a delightful cow over here. Oh, you do.
There is a conductor. Yeah, don't tell me there's no conductor when there's a conductor.
I figured it was gonna be a little animal, but instead it's Blaze technically is an animal. He wasn't poking out though. A cow would have been visible from off, and now it.
Let me glue some seats on so we have extra seats. And then that'll make this better than last time I showed it. So assemble this and hand him his little hat. And he's not supposed to leave until he hits...
No!
Until this is empty, but we'll just take over.
Oh, is it draining at the moment?
No, the tank is full. So it was about 6,000 blocks away. It should warp us into it, but it's kind of, this is a little weird.
Wait, it worked last time. What happened?
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, what the
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Okay. But at any rate, it was about 6,000 blocks away for the infinite. So I used, I actually created a train contraption that built its own tunnel and just drove from here, basically I went there, I created another portal, and then I just connected nether portals that we had here to that one. So it's just kind of this long little system. And then...
You got hit by something?
It poisoned me. Those bees are poisonous. So we come in here, warp through. You'll still be in the seat. Don't worry. It's not confusing at all.
Okay, huh.
And so then it lands here, and this is just a pumping area, pulling from the infinite source, which is underneath this pipe right here. And as I discovered, the physics of that is problematic to say the least. I stepped into it and fell down to my death. I was just like, ew, splat.
It's the weirdest thing, dude.
So at any rate, it's a fairly simplistic system, but it was kind of neat how I used and was able to figure out how to use the train to build its own track to kind of guide itself as it needed to be, where it needed to be. So that was an interesting experience and made it a lot easier to go that far through the nether.
So is this thing set to... Oh, it's filling pretty quickly. So is it set to depart once it fully fuels?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you are going to have to build an absolutely obscene oil capacity back home, or are you basically
just runs?
Like you're going to have your oil capacity, and then as soon as it depletes, then you'll send the train, basically?
Yeah, literally the schedule here for this guy is come here, fill up, and then once you empty on the other side, then do it again. And that's
okay. But the emptying part, it could be a while depending upon.
Yeah, he could sit there for days, and that's fine. It doesn't matter. So let's see. I'm stuck in the portal. I'm stuck in the portal. Okay, I got it.
What the heck? Wait, why isn't he? Oh, because you interrupted his routine.
Right.
So that's why it's not automatically going.
So,
got it.
So yeah, other than needing to put the ceiling on there, or ostensibly needing to put the ceiling on there, now it's just one big fluid tank thing. You could design it in a way that it looks more like how we know tanks and stuff like that, but I just have it being utility. And yeah, it covers the 6,000 blocks a lot quicker than if I were trying to do Overworld, and is fairly protected because it built the everything's for me.
Ow.
And so that's nice. That's it. That's the train.
This is cool. Dang, that's awesome. All right. And that's got to be... That amount of oil, I feel like, has to last for...
Yeah, I mean, and I have a large tank right here. So, this fills up, and then... So, once this as this gets consumed, because that's constantly the train is constantly sending, that will drain, and then just as soon as there's nothing left on the tank, I'll still have this guy completely full, but the train will go and fetch more. So
where okay, crude oil. So the crude oil is, what is it being used to manufacture? The sulfur and refined fuel. Okay.
yeah, sulfur dust, and then it goes to tar and different. And I mean, I haven't gone through all the steps yet, but that's part of the process of where I need to get, because I need to get to refined fuel ultimately, and then I should be good to go.
Sick.
So anyway, I haven't started on anything chapter 3, but that's kind of the starting point of where I'm at right now, and that's where we be.
Sweet.
All caught up. Everybody's all caught up. And so you're going to work on getting the source portions over to work to continue time in a bottle.
Indeed. And then I will get to be very, very depressed how quickly my excess Oriole gets used up with like 10 time in a bottles. And I'll be like, cool. So I think it's the excess Oriole essence that I get out of each cycle is something like 200 millibuckets. So it takes 2 cycles for a single time in a bottle. So,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I know time in the bottles are used for things. I don't know how many we have to produce or whether it's extremely problematic.
It's for the time machines, which are the time mechanisms, and the time mechanisms use the radiant mechanisms and the time in a bottle in order to get 2 times. So basically 4 time in a bottles get us 1 time machine. And the time machine is used for, I think, applied energistics as well as waystones.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, you're making progress, and we're getting stuff done.
Yes, indeedly do. So now it's time for me to go and lay some pipe.
Refinery.
So the question is, what should I just do, a big belt, or should I do a relay station of like 10 different storage controller things?
Why on earth would you add that complexity when you could just do a belt?
Because it's it's cool, but I don't know. I guess I'll just do a belt.
I mean, you do what you want to do.
Don't tell me what I want to do.
I didn't tell you what you want to do. If you actually refer back.
Don't tell me what I don't want to do.
I know. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. This is the one that I need heat on, right? I wonder... This pushes south, so I could put one there and then have... I assume that blaze burners create heat. So I need to build... The only problem with the one chunk factory is I cannot access our inventory without running back and forth. So it's like I have to kind of like think through several things and hope that I grab them all. And that's the only drawback to this.
One day we will have applied energistics and wireless and stuff like that, or
It'll be
refined
great.
storage, or whatever. What are the refined storage crafting recipes? Let me see.
There is no refined.
Oh, it's applied energistics only. Okay, it's fine. You like it. All right. I am typing coordinates that I need to keep track of. -259, 63, and -958. Cool. I just need to run things to here.
Now's where we break off into individual
into single player series episodes.
But we talked about this last time, but as you guys saw when we walked through the different machines, trying to have 2 people create these sort of things would be absolute insanity.
It's a little difficult.
It really just, there's certain portions are just one person figuring it out, and we got to think it through. And it's not that we hate each other; it's just we don't like it. I mean,
it's just that we don't like each other.
Yeah.
It's just not hate. Hate's a strong word, but don't like is at least a little bit easier.
Okay, so we need to get a train machine, or what is it? Sturdy machine. And that's used in the refinery with a precision mechanism. And then I need these with diamonds. So, and I think I need, what is it? 4 outputs? I forget how many. Yeah, 4 outputs. So 4 refinery outputs. I'm assuming I'm going to want to try and get each one. I don't know. One of the things that has me a little concerned is I don't know how to void fluids. And that could be something that I need to do. I know that sounds silly, but it's like, you end up with a huge surplus of A, and but you need more B. The most efficient way is to be able to convert A into B, but barring that, I need hugs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So 1 refinery and 4 outputs. And then I needed the precision. I just tried Control L to put my thing in and that didn't work, and I'm sad. Hey, look, there's already a precision mechanism. Didn't need to go pick the one I needed up. And then diamonds. So that and that gives me the controller. And that gives me those guys. I'm hoping that I can use blaze burners as my heating source. Because this needs heat on the blocks. This is the one where it's like if there's an open block, then it lowers the efficiency, right? I think that these would be considered as heat generating. I can't remember. I don't think it matters on the controller itself. I think it's only on the outputs. I could be wrong on that. If I am, then I won't be right. So you may be right. I may be crazy. But it just might be a lunatic that you're looking for. All right, and then I needed these with these. There we go. So, and then I need an arm, mechanical arm. It looks like we have one. Good. That'll act as my source. And then we might need a depot. We might not. Because I'm going to need to feed the blazes, but I have that charcoal there. I'll just need to split that charcoal off so that it will go also feed that as well. Do I color my beard? No. This is just me being old. That's all that there is. So we're going to need to output from there and then have... That's an output. Oh, nice. I was like, I'm assuming this doesn't work, but it does. Control... Not back. Here. Controller, out. I need to get some andesite casings. Oh, I have them. Okay. Out and out. And then again, I think this is where you don't want exposed. 70, yeah. So 70 of the 24 blocks are exposed. And so that's where we add in the blazes to give some coverage. And now it shouldn't be 17 anymore. 9 out of 24. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what the 9th one is. So here I could do given that, can I have this mechanical arm say source, destination, and work right here? How to power it is an interesting question that I don't know. It doesn't care about direction, so I should be able to just use some encased chain drives and one gearbox to flip that around. So I brake here, I put that there, and then I crank that, and then I turn this into a vertical gearbox, and now I don't have a vertical gearbox. There it is. There, and now that's spinning, and the arm has power. Granted, I think this actually works, so I think the arm doesn't care that much, but let's move this over here. So that way, aesthetically speaking, the arm isn't reaching through these blocks in order to provide, in order to get what it delivers. It'll reach through a little bit, but we don't need to dwell. And then this guy there, and you're spinning, and you're happy, and you don't need to be there. So now I just need to get charcoal to this spot. But if something arrives, it should feed it. That creates heat. You can see the temperature going up now. And then, so we need glass for these other faces. And I don't know what the 9th one is. Oh, it's the top. It's the top. That's what it is. So we can put the glass there. I don't think I care that much about immediately handling that. And then we also need to pump in the oil into it. I'm assuming and hoping it just takes crude oil, which I think is what I have here. Crude oil, yep. Crude oil is refinery controller, and then refines out to refined oil, light oil, and heavy oil, and apparently doesn't use the 4th one, so I don't need the 4th one. Well, it's there anyway. Qu'est-ce le va? So here we need to provide... Looks like I don't have any pipes. So we need some glass, and we need pipes. I'm a little low on small cogs. I don't know if there's more to be had, but that's a little on the low side. Looked like those weren't spinning for a second. Perfect. Give me half of those. And then pipes. I know I made a bajillion of these, but they might have gotten deleted or lost or something, because I certainly had more than I'm showing right here. And I'm pretty sure I had more than I'm showing even outside of this. So I'm talking still because I'm trying to think through where they would have been lost. And I can't think of any place. But we'll just make more and call it a day. Because copper is not something we are low on. Copper pipe. Pipe. I'm good. We're getting there. We're working on it. We have it surrounded. All right. That should be plenty. In order to get to the next one, or to get a pump, all I do is add a cog to those, so I don't need to do anything there. And then we wanted to get some glass. We'll do... Maybe I'll just take some. I'll just take a stack, just in case. And then we get to start figuring out how we want to handle the products and where we're going to pump the products and all that, because that's going to be interesting. So... yeah, that's definitely... The arm's fine. Don't worry about it. Then I need to have this guy, but gloss. There we go. And I can have this along here. I'm a knucklehead. I think I need to start on the top, but we'll see. We'll see. That goes here. That one's gloss. That can go there. And then that's gloss. So now we have the 2 deliveries, one from top, one from mid. And then I should be able to do a shortened again right here. So, and there's our tertiary. There's those. Hopefully these count as not being exposed to the open. How's our temperature? Heat. This machine requires heat. I'm at 27. Oh, but I'm not actually pumping the blazes. We'll see. If need be, I can probably replace some of this with like magma blocks or something like that, and try and get funky fancy. But I wasn't racing in that direction just yet. Make this pump. And then cog and cog. And now you're getting crude, and you just need more heat. So everything should be there, it's just not there, you know? So that brings us back to basic routing. I feel like you can deliver... I feel like you can deliver via just like to the top, no problem. Here, we'll have to double check. To a depot is what I'm trying to say, without needing a funnel. I feel like you can hand it to a depot without a funnel. Those were all the words that were getting stuck in my mouth as I thought through all the other different things. Sorry for being how I am. So here's that add-in. I don't have a... I'm missing all my stuff that was in my chest, and I miss it a lot because it was all the best. So I need some rubbers. So there's rubber, but belts. 45 ought to be plenty. We're probably going to need a bunch of tanks and stuff to hold the product. But we'll need to kind of plan that out separately once I get the charcoal delivering and I know that I'm happy with how that's all producing. Need to create a train that just zooms over there and back. It's a little trainy poo for me. All right, so this is just me testing to make sure that goes into the depot. It does. Okay, fine. Good. Give me that. Break you, pop you. You go down there. So this is a drop-down situation. This is an encased chain situation. Actually, yeah. There and there. Boom, boom, and boom. Flip. Is that turning the right way? It is not. But what I was originally going to do over there, but now I'm moving it over here because of where the placement is. So I put this here and here. That's spinning correctly, and then if I put this here, this should spin it correctly. or not at all because there's no belt on it, which makes sense if you think about it. There you go. And that's going the correct direction. So now... I don't really want to... Do I want to shoot off of that? That's silly. I'm actually going to do this stupid. I'm gonna do this... Oh, I can't. That would break my one chunk rules. I was going to actually funnel out the back of it and then bring it underneath.
I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but like we could delete the elevator because we can fly now.
I can't fly.
Huh? Oh, over it. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where the elevator is located, we can fly.
Oh yeah, but instead you could just go another way.
No, I don't think I can. The elevator does look cool, but you're right. I could actually just dig a shaft parallel to the elevator and then
just take the roof off the, or take a block out of the elevator. I don't know. I mean,
that's what I was
just thinking. If you want to delete the whole thing, then fine.
No. My source made it. It made it.
Just
Let's
something
go.
I worked on for a long time that you want to get rid of. I understand. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Yeah.
No, I would never do that. I would never do.
Oh, I extend this one back, and then I have the pusher going down. That's there's the ticket. That's the how-do.
Okay, so I got source from Jardon's little experimentation area over to the thing. The final thing is I have to get the source gems, and then we should have time in a bottle production.
And then the world.
And then the world will stop because we will have times in a bottle, which will be pretty crazy stuff. Okay, good.
You know, I put all that time into those. Are those not illuminating blocks? That's silly. Polished glowstone is not a luminous block. Explain that one to me. He doesn't want to. Fair enough. So, what is a mundane belt used for? Now I'm just mildly curious what I'm saying. Oh my god. Okay, I'm less curious. I need a pusher. Right? Yes. Okay, so that's the correct one. Back and forth. I feel like this is a perfect area for a nice little back and forth delivery. Now I want to do that instead of work on what I'm supposed to be working on. But that's how you have fun. But I should be working on what I should be working on. But I want to do it, but I run back and forth. I'm more efficient. No, it'll take more time to make this than I'll ever save in the efficiency. Yeah, but then you won't have made it. Yeah, but okay, that's fair. So I need the stations. Do I need anything else? I need the controls. I need 2 controls. So I'm going to need 2 sturdy machines. Which means I need some more sturdy mechanism. I do have a train that's going back and forth with the flint, but that would be different. It's not particularly different, but, you know, I'd have to take the elevator. It's this whole thing. Listen, my feet hurt. It's been a long day. Walking miles. So train controller. I need 2. Oh, right. I'm good at other things. I don't know what they are. Let's see. Train whistle. Not that whistle. Steam whistle. Isn't there a whistle that works on the train? I think this goes on boilers. Yeah, I remember Chosen giving me that. It doesn't really look like there's a train whistle. I thought there was like a woo woo chugga 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 like sort of thing, but I don't see one. I don't even know where my train whistle thing is. Woo woo chugga chugga. I don't even know where mine is. I have a slide whistle, but I don't have a train whistle. It's the same thing, but how does it work? Use the sprint key to blow the whistle. Like, is there initially a whistle on there, or do I have to add said whistle? Or horn, as the case may be. Or whatever the hell. Wait, I've already Steam whistle. Okay, yeah. Whistle while you work. Boy, that's expensive. I don't know if I can afford that. Okay, there's that. And then I needed 2 levers. Turn these into controls. I need a casing for the bogey. I think that should be it. A seat. I think I have seats on me. Wrong button, wrong button. There's a seat. Okay. And a barrel. With charcoal to put in it. Of course, the tracks are down here, so, you know, I think. Are the tracks down there? The tracks are right there. The tracks are somewhere. They're either down there or they're down there. Where did I definitely saw that I placed the tracks somewhere. I'm 100% certain that they are somewhere. What is happening? We're building trains. Where did I place my tracks? Is that them? I think that might be them. It is them. Okay, cool. In the meantime, I needed the pusher right here as well to push down, which that should be doing. Now that's down. Replace that, and now roomity vroom. That lights up like a Christmas tree. And we are over 100 degrees, so we are now refining heavy, light, and refined. Seems like that should be enough, right? If it's not, then I won't be. Okay. So here we have a train. And upon this train, we have a station. And this station allowed me to create more train. Excellent. And upon this train, we placed ourselves some fuel. Oh, I need the andesite ladder. Andesite, don't fail me now. Here, boom, and that. We placed a we may place upon it a seat, some controls, and a ladder to access. We turn the controls so they're facing the correct directions, the corrections, if you will. And then we add these guys to get me along where I need to go. Now, I think I can add a deployer. And also, I guess let's do dirt. Yeah. So that was going to give me excess, but it didn't. So not a whole lot of dirt to be found, but that's okay. Dirt, dirt. All right, so now we have some dirt blocks. Looking good, King. So I think I can do a deployer. Set that. And then you can go in there. You can go in there. And then you guys can go in there. And then I think I can do a deployer right here. To deploy track. That might not work, but on the other hand, it might. And then we break that. Oh, apparently. This does not attach to anything. I cannot place. I was lied to. Didn't look like it's set up on there. I think this only applies to tanks. It will not attach. Oh well. We tried. It should work. I've heard that before. Add a tank. Easy. No. All right, so there to here gets most of it, and then this should add the rest of it. And then does this... Oh my god, she's beautiful! I don't know how it handles this. I don't know what happens. I don't know if it tries to dig and then just gets me killed, or if it ramps up somehow. I don't think it ramps up. So I was like, I don't have any dirt. How do I not have dirt? I put it all in the train. So we start here, and we get some of this track. I love that they made it so you can access inventory while it's still in contraption mode. That was A+ change. And we set that to here. Maybe bring it down one. There we go. I guess I only needed to break it to where it landed and the rollers would do the rest, but nonetheless, I overdid. And just to verify, yep, okay, cool. So, let's see how she cranks. Oh, the deployer's like, nope. The deployer did not care for my ideas. It says my ideas are bad and I should feel bad. And you know what? Not entirely inaccurate. All right, there's that. Let's disable the deployer. I think if I just... It should probably have some track left, but I don't know if it has a full amount that if I pull everything that's in the inventory, I can disable it. This is definitely the only smart way to possibly do this, and there aren't better ways, a dozen better ways to go about it.
We got time in a bottle!
I keep forgetting that I'm in the call with him. Nice! Well
All
done.
right. Well, we might as well take one for each of us so that we can use the time in a bottles as time in a bottles. And now, oh my goodness.
Oh my.
Now we see it's probably going to produce like 20 or so before we're out of the
Before you're
oil,
out of everything? Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, though, you're doing it. You're getting it done.
We are doing it. Oh my goodness. This has been just actual freaking insanity.
Quite a process.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But what's important is you made it work. And it's about the friends we made along the way, you know?
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Well, here, let me head over to you and give you your very own time in a box. Actually, let me get a third one so we can put it in the system, and then Pete will have one when he is here.
All right. There's that. Maybe just a little bit closer. Don't want to have to walk too far. My knees. All right. And then back it up. And add in the end station. Bring her on in. Disassemble. Remove. And then the only thing you need is charcoal, but you have a lot of extra stuff. Don't worry about it. Okay. And reassemble.
So, as it turns out, time in a bottles do not stack, and therefore drawers are not very helpful for this.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect them to be.
Oh, dear. What do you think? What's the solution for this one? Would it be better do we upgrade the drawer, or do we do a like diamond sophisticated storage with like stack upgrades in it?
You could let's see. You could look into an armory cabinet. That's designed to hold non-stacking stuff in drawer form. But the thing about it is that you have to use something to interact with it, like the integrated dynamics. You can't add or remove things from it add it like directly. It has to be through a secondary. But that's kind of, I think, what that is intended for is things like that application. Also, now that I run my little shortcut train, it really highlights how ridiculous it is, but I love it all the same.
Oh, okay. Wait, funnels, you can just funnel into it? People are saying you can funnel into it.
Maybe, but
if you can funnel into it and out of it, then
stacks
cool.
and drawers don't seem happy. I mean, you would only be able to hold one at a time, right? Or yeah. If they don't stack, then you could funnel one in, but it can't take a second one because it wouldn't stack, right? And a drawer can only have one item.
The armory? I thought that's what the armory.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. I thought you were still talking like you.
No, people are saying you can funnel into the armory.
Yeah, I think pretty much just anything that can interface with an inventory, whether it's funnels, whether it's whatever, then those are fine. It's just it does not have a native, like you can't run up and punch it and get an item out of it or see how much is in it.
Got it. So I think what I can do, though, is just basically put the armory cabinet as a buffer, and then I still have the armory cabinet exporting to a drawer, and then I grab things out of the drawer, and then the armory cabinet will refill it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, there'd only be the one thing in the drawer, but sure, that would still be holding what you needed to, so...
Well, yeah, like I'll have the time in the bottles in the drawer. It holds 32, but the armory cabinet will just be refilling it when we grab things out of it, basically.
Right.
As long as, well, we'll see. As long as I'm, not misunderstanding how it works. Do we have any netherite by any chance?
Netherite? I found one ancient debris, but that's literally all I've found.
Oh, yes, we only... Ooh. I wonder if we can buy netherite? In the shop. Where is the shop? The trade market. Oh, it does not look like they wanted us to be able to purchase netherite.
They have designed in ways to not allow.
I'm going to be honest, I'm not feeling terribly inclined right now at an hour and 16 minutes in to go quest out netherite.
Yeah.
But you know what? I feel like that was an accomplishment. So I am good. Is there anything that you want to finish up before we wrap up?
Nope. I just finished what can only be described as the most efficient use of resources ever. And
well, what did you do?
I got tired.
This is your back.
I got tired of running back and forth, so I just made this dinky little thing that, like, it's the most pointless, but you know what? It gets me there a little bit faster.
Yeah, why not?
This
is great. Did it lay its own track, or you put it down?
No, I had it lay its own track and level itself.
Oh, okay, nice.
So, but I did actually. I mean, it wasn't much, but I got the base refinery tower built, and so I should be full on refined oil. And so now I just need to create the tanks.
Oh, you're pneumatic crafting. Oh God, I just started doing this in a different world for another thing, so I'm like, oh, I recognize you.
Yeah. So start refining and everything, and then I was like, got tired. I was like, oh, I need to run back and get glass. Oh, I need to run back and get this. Well, and finally I was like, you know what? I'm making a stupid train, the SS Wasteful, and so I did.
Good idea. And then eventually we will get applied energistics, and pain will be minimized.
Yeah. So
and it will be awesome.
So all right, well,
drawer upgrades.
You ready for me to take us out?
Oh yeah. I just want to, in the meantime, before I get the armory, if we have the ability to make drawer upgrades, I just feel like I might as well make a couple.
Sure. But we do want to thank our sponsor for this series, Apex Hosting, providing the server we've been playing on. Guys, please, if you would like to play with your friends, we would love it if you would check in our description. We have a link there that will take you. It'll save you 25% off on your first month, and you'll go to help support our sponsor. Our sponsor helps support us, so you're helping to support us, and everybody is all happy and in good times. We do create these live uses happen on twitch.tv/CaptainSparklez and twitch.tv/Zine. There's a lot of stuff that can happen that doesn't always make it into the episodes. So if you want to see all that extra juicy content, then that's the place to go. And if you have enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing if you haven't, turning on notifications, those fun things, and leave a comment letting us know just how the different ways that we should have done things better than how we did.
No, not on this. Not on this. I refuse. I refuse. This is actually working, and I'm no.
All right, fair enough. Anything for you?
No, I'm. This is the most satisfied I've finished an episode in a very long time.
So it's always good to finish satisfied. So, all right, bye guys.